Kenyan voters reward those who defy law. When we talk about even people like Raila Odinga, they are people who defy law. You cannot arrest Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is bigger than any legal system in this country. Welcome to the Political Oracle. I am going to discuss something that is at the core of Kenyan politics. There are some truths that we need to understand. I remember in around 2022, when there was a gubernatorial debate in Nakuru County, I sat in an interview where we were discussing about who was likely to be elected as president in 2022. And I mentioned this, and you can watch it, actually it was on KTN. I mentioned this, that there are things that we think are very important when it comes to voting or selecting leaders, but they have no importance at all. And that is what I want to expound on. The truth about Kenyan voters. Truth number one, Kenyan voters do not elect presidents because they are corrupt-free. Yes, you have heard me. Corruption is a systematic issue, and even the system and deep state support it. So we cannot say that someone will not be elected president because they are corrupt. There is nothing like that. They will be elected, actually, with their corruption. So when you are criticizing the government, you cannot use corruption as a way of bringing them down. Two, Kenyan voters do not consider criminal records when they are electing presidents and other leaders. There is no president who will fail to be elected because they have a criminal record. If you doubt that, kindly refer to 2013. The fact that someone has a criminal record, whether they are contesting to be elected as governors, as MPs, as MCAs, or now at presidential level. You cannot say that because someone has a criminal record, they will not be elected. If criminals were to be neglected by voters, I can tell you even Nelson Mandela would not have been elected as first president of South Africa. But he won a Nobel Prize while he is in the black books. Okay, now, number three, voters will never consider a good track record when electing you as president. No one cares whether you have a good track record. And that is why some people, when they are contesting for presidency, they start talking about their good track record. No one cares. If you are not in good terms with voters, you can never win any election, especially at presidential level in any country, including Kenya. Number four, Kenyans will not elect leaders because they are government critics. The fact that you are criticizing the government, the fact that you have a bile against the president, the current regime, does not mean that you will be elected as president. Forget about it. For you to be elected as president, make sure you are in the second, third, and fourth category of the voters that I have talked about. That will really help you a big deal, and will help you understand the dynamics of politics and the structure on which democracies are founded. Democracy is not founded on clean slates. Democracy is founded on dirty politics, dirty grounds, and dirty foundations. Dirty as in, you need to understand the language and the way politics work for you to know whether you are going to have power or not. Number five, Kenyan voters frequently reward the defiance of law with admiration, interpreting it as strength or even street smart. And remember, the other time I was talking about Maraga, and I was trying to tell him that he cannot say the problem of Kenya is defiance of law. In fact, Kenyan voters reward those who defy law. When we talk about even people like Raila Odinga, they are people who defy law. You cannot arrest Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga is bigger than any legal system in this country. But he will defy the law, but still he will survive. And we will still love him. Kenyans will still love him. Number 7, Kenyans do not punish broken promises. Actually, they normalize them. I know people have been talking about, oh, this government has told us they are going to do this. They are not doing it. Kenya will never punish those people who give them broken promises. And that is why using this now, you can understand and you can try to see whether what we are thinking today will be what will be happening in 2027. Will Kenyans punish William Ruto because he gave promises and he never kept them? I doubt. Because after my study for many years about presidential politics, I've realized this one does not happen. And it is not only in Kenya, it is all over. And it is not likely to change soon as long as we are operating under a democratic structure. The other one is that Kenyan voters prioritize ethnic affiliations over national interests when choosing a president. This one is in the public domain. Ethnic affiliations is a big thing, and it will be a big thing in 2027. You cannot run away from that. And it is something that has been enduring. Kenyan nations are consolidated alongside tribes and ethnicities. You can never separate politics from that because ownership comes from those conclaves. And that is why we may often start wondering, why is it that our tribe is not producing presidents? Is because your tribe could be small. And I said here the other day that the majority rules over the minority. That is a universal wisdom. The majority tribes or ethnicities will continue to rule over the minority because at the end of it, Kenyans consider ethnicities and the tribes and even clanism in some counties as very important aspects when it comes to leadership and politics. Now that is why, for example, in some counties, you realize powerful clans are clans with majority and they rule over the minority clans. The last thing that you need to know is that Kenyan voters do not elect presidents based on policy, state substance, or ideological vision. No one cares about your vision. No one cares about your agenda. We care about branding. And that is why I was talking about copyrightable manifestos, because they are used to brand someone. They keep someone in the people's minds, and that one does well than just giving these other promises. So Kenyans do not care about the substance of your policy. They don't care about your ideology. They don't care about your vision. Until we understand that, we will never understand politics. And remember, this is what your political science department will never teach you. Fall. And if you want to rise, you need to understand where you started falling. And I want to tell you, because in this podcast, we are going to bring you a lot of light regarding politics, even as we end to 2027. Kindly follow us and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. And that is the Political Oracle.